I overheard something.
Anyway, it's in your realm.
One of the newborns found their way into the grimoire vault.
Was anything taken?
And I know I'm not supposed to be open.
Nesryn, if you'll excuse me, I believe we have a visitor. Shouldn't you be out hunting or something? I thought that's all that newborns ever did. Usually, it takes your kind years before they find their way into the crypt. Even longer before they work up the courage to order from me. You must be quite a free thinker. Extraordinary. I've been dying to meet you. I love an independent soul. I'm Luna. I own this place. Can I get you anything, doll? It's on the house. Don't worry. No fine print, no hidden strings. Oh, of course. We have all of our signature libations right here. If you'd like, I could walk you through the menu. I am the mixologist, so I'm quite proud of it, if you can imagine. Of course. Some favorites, of course, are the nightshade cider. The spices are harvested from my own garden. There's also the constellation cocktail, the roses and thorns, the mist noir, and the eternal bloom. I would say what I find guests order most often would be probably the constellation. It has vodka, lemon, egg white, honey, among other things. Oh, the roses and thorns. I can't say enough about it. It's my personal favorite. It has bourbon, wildflower honey, lemon, nightshade spices, and a dried rose for garnish. The mist noir, spiced rum, dark chocolate liqueur, espresso, and cinnamon syrup, house-made, of course. The eternal bloom has a little bit more of a flowery taste, if you're into that sort of thing. And then we have a selection of wines. The midnight spiced wine is, of course, a favorite. The sangria, imported from Spain, of all places. Of course it tastes more exotic, just because it's from overseas. Sauvignon Blanc, Riesling, and Moscato. If you're into things a little bit more sweet, of course, I can't make the choice for you. Sure. Take your time. Oh, what an exquisite choice for your first drink at the Crypt. I admire your taste. Sit right there, doll. I'll get to work.
Look, it's one of the newborns. Don't talk too loud, they may hear you. Don't you know how dangerous those are? That's one of the ones that Rosalind heard. It's one that Rosalind heard. I saw it happen. No, it was near the Whispering Cave. Newborns can't be trusted with anything. All they see is their own bloodlust. I can't imagine one being smart enough to enter the grimoire vault. Never in a million years would touch things that they shouldn't.
My creations are delicacies here. Something you can only allow yourself every once in a blue moon, lest you drink too much and you're not thirsty for blood. Well, I hope you don't have to find out what that feels like. Anyway, here you are, sweetheart. Don't even bother with feedback. I'll know exactly how you feel. You love it. You've never had anything quite like it in your life.
Luna, may I order...
Warmed apple cider with top shelf rum, topped off with blood of a doe.
Thanks, dear. Your memory is unmatched.
Of course, Vincent.
You wouldn't hardly believe it. No. And she was wearing the dress that she wore to last year's ball. I mean, who in their right mind thinks that she would notice that? I mean, I would notice, but anyway. So we get there, and of course the Duke is there, which I haven't seen him in so long. I believe that he's been conducting some study abroad. Something about, I don't even know, time-altering machines and other things of the sort, but I couldn't tell you for sure. I don't know, I'm awfully curious about it. Don't say you have something if you don't know. Anyway, well, we were at the ball, so of course I was trying to get to him, but I couldn't really make my way through the crowd. And, yeah, no, it was difficult with all those poofy dresses and such.
I've been serving him for 87 years. Depending on the time of the night, the brightness or dullness in his eyes, who's accompanying him, the weather, I can tell you exactly what he'll order. You can see he's with his missus. She's not one to order for herself, but she does love sampling whatever he's got. Of course he knows. So, he orders for her. He does quite love to make her happy. Vincent, here you go, dear. So, tell me, how come you're not out hunting tonight? You surprise me again. You're doing everything you can to learn the ins and outs of our society. A messy business, but I'm excited for you. Truly. There's so much to sink your curiosity into. I would never discourage you from investigating. Another midnight spiced wine, Nesryn. Of course, no, I was wearing the spider silk that Madame whipped up for me. Now I'm very thankful to have direct access to the Modiste. I mean, who has that but me? No, of course, it was because our mothers were friends for the longest time until they both perished abroad. Yes, they were on their way to a distant land. Well, anyhow, I was wearing the spider silk. Of course, I was going to try and get the Duke's attention, but he didn't even so much as look my way. I mean, could I have shouted, "Hi, I really want to part in your research. I've been doing my own. Can I show you?" Well, you have to leave the ball and all these ladies adoring you and falling at your feet. But I feel like it's worth it, right? Of course. Yes. Be careful. I made it extra spicy. it was you. You entered the Grimoire Vault, didn't you? I promise I won't tell. As long as you tell me how you figured out how to break the enchantment on those doors. It's okay. I understand your hesitation not to tell me, doll. You've just fallen into a pit of predators. But you're not as helpless as they may seem. I have something. It might be able to help you. You have a light in your eyes I don't want to see dimmed. Did you find what you were looking for in the vault? It's okay. The vault is like a labyrinth of ink and leather and dust. I'm proud of you for trying. I think your curiosity is refreshing. Someone like you is what this place needs. Do you see that back booth over there? I close at midnight. It's a popular feeding hour. Make yourself scarce until then. Okay. I'll see you then. Hello. I've had this locket for many years. There's a compass needle inside. When you're searching for something, hold it in the palm of your hand. It'll orient in the direction of the thing you're looking for. It's a special object. I found it myself when I was a newborn. Of course I would lend it to you. We all were newborns once. It might be intimidating, being around vampires who are so old, but there's all one thing we share. We were all new to this. We all needed a hand. You won't survive on your own. Here, take it. Believe me, you can use it. Just be careful with what you find. Much of our accepted history of how the Great Vampire House is formed is mostly myth and speculation. A lot of our history has been edited and rewritten and edited and rewritten again. Well, I would say ask the vampire that turned you, but it depends on who that is. Who was it? Oh, Rosalind. I can't say for sure if you can trust her, but I don't think there's any harm in asking. Well, did you ever see that play? It's been adapted several times. It originated as a play and then an opera in other years, and, well, it comes from a shred of truth. It was about a princess in the Fae. Not familiar? Well, it takes place many hundreds of years ago, with a princess named Aurea, who lived in a sheltered kingdom, although, as often as the king and queen and noblewomen and noblemen talked about creatures outside of their borders, it only made her more curious. They said that they were fae, druids, trolls, other creatures of the like, but it all sounded frivolous to her. She wanted to see it for herself. Of course, why wouldn't you? any naive princess locked inside the walls of a castle would want to escape. Unfortunately for her, the stories were meant to protect, although ill-received, because what's outside of the borders was not fae, not in the slightest. Can you see where this is going? So, she fled the kingdom, thinking that she knew best, wanting to be with the fae, wanting to be in the wilderness where she wasn't bound by all of the constraints of her society. And who did she stumble across but vampires in the forest? Of course, she didn't last very long, but with a personality like hers, the determination, the wilderness in her heart, she quickly became their leader. I know. Well, that's all I know of how our house began. The others have very, very different stories. Even I don't know them all. I barely know ours. I guess. I guess you could start with the Grimoire Vault. I don't know if they would have what you're looking for, though. Not in that castle. I would try the one through the South Forest. Yes. There's an old building in the woods, mostly decrepit. It looks like a pile of rubble. You can't miss it. There's a library in the basement. A bunch of old tomes. If you can find any that aren't reduced to ash, you might find a primary source. That's all I can say. I've heard that. I can't tell you for sure what your purpose is, but I know you're not like the others. You have a spirit that will help keep you alive. You have nothing to fear. Truly, how was your drink? Oh, good. I'm glad you liked the apple. I might have to make a change to the menu. If enough people like it, that is. I've met some vampires who... No, not for them. Well, go on now. You've got what you came here for. I won't tell anyone it was you, I promise. From one vampire to another, the amount of things I've taken from various places would be very incriminating. For anything you've taken, I've taken 100 more. That's all I have to say. You can always come back if you need anything. Just don't be around here too much. You might become a target. I would hate that for you. Okay? I'll see you around. Find but a dragon's eye sapphire. Oh, no. I know. Yes, you can't tell anybody, but I have it in my possession. I'm planning to use it. Please.
Where they all
No,
are.
you have to trust me. It's a perfectly respectable stone, fit for any number of spells, but specifically enhancing elven healing. So I would much rather use it for that.
Drives
Mhm. Anyway, do you have anything new on the menu?
Everyone is turning.
I'm feeling like something a little bit sweet. The Moscato. No, honey, I had the Moscato last time I was here. Something shaken, like a cosmopolitan. Oh, yes, of course. That one does make me want to just look up at the stars and lay in a field.
No,
Mm-hmm.
we could never. I'll have to get to the bottom of it.
Absolutely
We
delightful.
not have to in our
I
property.
look forward to trying it.
Has to give something to children to
Anyway, have you made any advancements with your alchemy recently?
It maintains the appearance that we have a normal plot of land. If any animals were fleeing from it, it would
Ball of
look about as dead as it already is. No, I didn't see them on the way back. If they returned
last year.
so sorry. Lovely. Well,
At least
I'll have to meet with